Welcome back into Bison Overtime. My name is Logan Guenterberg. I am joined by my amazing co-host, Vinny Anderson. All over the place, Vinny. But we're going to be over the place today. We've got a lot. We've got NDSU football. We've got other college sports. We've got some NFL news. A couple of news from other leagues, but it's going to be great. It's going to be a great show. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic, and I think that you guys should watch the whole thing because to start, we got Montana versus NDSU in Missoula.
Game of the year.
Game of the year. I don't know. Montana State versus NDSU was up there, too.
But this was the highest stakes.
Yep.
I mean, this is to go to Frisco.
This is for...
Love Montana State wasn't to go to Frisco. This is. So this game mattered the most.
This game mattered big time, and the offense was low with a final score going into overtime being 16-16. And
uncharacteristically low for this NDSU team we've seen scoring red hot over their winning streak. I mean, this is an NDSU team that scored a lot. They've racked up the points, and they didn't really rack up much of anything. They struggled to get it going. It was very slow. I mean, for a while there, I was worried they weren't going to hit the end zone. It took them until the fourth quarter to finally crack pay dirt, so a little bit concerning.
In that winning stretch, NDSU put up a lot of points, and it was touchdowns after touchdowns after touchdowns. And in this game, we didn't see an NDSU touchdown until the fourth quarter when the game was on the line and Zach got hurt and Eli made a big-time touchdown, got us into overtime, and then we went into second overtime because this Montana team knows how to kick their PATs without getting it blocked. And unfortunately, we were on the wrong side of the game.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, this is a game that started out very much in Montana's favor. You know, we saw a quick 10-0, or not 10-0, but a 10-0 run, and then you're down 3-10 if you're NDSU at one point, you know. And then, of course, Junior Bergen explodes. He was really the biggest weapon all day for Montana. I mean, it was tough to stop him. He's making play after play. He has that punt return. And just when you think, week 2 of him not muting his computer, guys, don't worry. Week 2, second week in a row. But, I mean, and then, of course, 50 seconds left. You got to have a touchdown if you're NDSU. They get it with Eli Green. And you think, all right, Bison are back. We're going overtime. You know, this is all us. And then, of course, you have the run by Cole Payton, first play of the game of overtime. And he's in for 25. And you think golden. You know, we're in.
We're going to be fine.
This is it. We're going to Frisco. And then they answer back with Bergen. And then they answer back with another one. And NDSU answers, methodically, of course. You know, you can't just air it out in overtime. And I got to say, I hate the 2-point play. I hated it. That was terrible.
I mean, there should have been a pass interference on that.
I don't care. I don't care about penalties. That
Montana's 2-point, that got tipped up in the air and got caught.
Yeah.
Like,
a freak play, but I don't get the call. If you're NDSU, why do you line up like that? Why would you line up in a trick play for a 2-point? This is the whole season. This isn't playing Drake. This isn't one fun game in week 4. This is the whole season.
Well, I can tell you.
Why would you not trust the running game that you trusted the whole drive?
That's true, but I can tell you when I was with the football team for the first half of the season, that's the play that we've been practicing all year. So they
should have practiced it a bit longer.
We should have, but we've been practicing that almost every single practice, and we wanted to put that to show. And it was the season was on the line, and we wanted to put it on the show there when we could have put it on the I don't know.
Even if it works, I don't like it. Even if it works, I still hate it.
Yeah, and then we go into another 2-point competition with the Montana. So even if we got this, how many more 2 points did we have lined up? We probably had like 3 or 4. But we had other good plays that we could have called.
I think if you're NDSU, you have to run a good play for that 2-point. If you want to get fancy on the next 2-point when you're alternating, go for it. You know, fine. If you want to run a fancy trick play for alternating, but this is like you need to tie it up. This isn't to extend your lead. This isn't like sudden death 2 points. You need this 2-point. This is what you need. So I don't get the stance. I sat there and I was like, well, that play's not working. I've seen that ran in the NFL. It doesn't work. I've seen it run against good. This isn't a slack college team. You know, they're going to know how to play it. Montana's going to know what to do.
Right.
You're not going to rug pull Montana. They've been here before. especially like at their stadium. You know, they have all the energy.
Right. Do you think if NDSU hosted this team that we would have won? We're playing the what if game again, but if that happened, would we go to Frisco?
I think so. I think that NDSU is a dome team, and I don't think they like playing outside. And I know it's like, well, you're from Fargo, you're used to the cold. Yeah, I mean, duh. But this team doesn't play up to the standards I would want it to when they're outside.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't. I mean, Montana State, they took a little bit to get going. You know, it was kind of the same thing we saw this game. They start out really slow, almost like cold, and then as the game goes on, they start to heat up. Whereas if they're playing indoor, we saw that against South Dakota, we saw that against Southern Illinois.
We saw that against Drake.
Drake, yeah, UNI. It's like they start out hot right out the gate. So I think playing in that dome, they don't get off this sluggish start. Maybe they outpace Montana. Maybe Montana doesn't get sluggish start either because
normally
neither team reacted up.
NDSU normally gets the toss and then goes down, scores a touchdown. And in this game, we got the toss, and we go down and score a field goal, and that was the only point of our game. And talking about struggling, Cam Miller did not play to what we are used to seeing Cam play.
Not what we've come to expect. Only
9 completed passes out of 22 throws.
157, 1 touchdown. Didn't have any picks. I mean, struggled to really get moving at all rushing. It was all negative rushes. So this wasn't like other games where we've seen him exploit the defense, get a big gain. It kind of felt a much more down-to-earth game. It felt like they had actually sort of contained him. And I know they talked about keeping him in the pocket, and I think they did a really good job of doing that. So you saw those struggles. And then, of course, you have the NFL draft announcement from Tamarick Williams.
Tamarick did have a really good game.
Decent game from him.
52 yards. I mean, led the running game. I mean,
You'd like a bit more than 52 yards.
But I mean, with the running committee, I'd say with Cole Payton there too, Cam Miller with his running abilities. You also got T.K. Marshall and Barika. Like it's scattered.
Hard to get carries.
Yeah. So, I mean, the game against Montana State, he balled out, and this game he had over 52 yards. So, I mean, yes, would you like a little better season? Yes, but when your system is not built around you, but to everyone else, this is the best that you can do.
And then, of course, your guy, Eli Green, balled out again. 5 catches, 100 yards, damn close to 100 yards, 1 touchdown.
Oh.
That's pretty good. I mean, it was pretty much him, and that was it. So I'm not impressed with the rest of the NDSU receiving core. They got to pick it up. You can't rely on Eli this heavily every single time. But he did come and pull through. He got the clutch touchdown to tie it up. Obviously, it didn't do much in the long run, but he at least put you in that position to have a chance to win. That's really all you can ask from these guys.
Yeah, and I told you from the start, Eli Green is something special, and I can't wait to keep watching him until his senior season because he is an absolute baller. And Zach Mathis had 1 catch for 14 yards. I mean, this is a very talented wide receiver room, and I understand we are a running program, but Eli got targeted more than half of the targets. And
more half the catches.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the yards, too, and the only one scoring a touchdown. So, I mean,
it's not good enough from everyone else. You need more than a catch from your next 4 guys. You need more than 60 yards between 4 guys and 4 catches. And like you said, it's a running team, but we've seen this in the past. Like, it's barely any completions from Cam, and this time it came to bite you because you might have needed to sling the ball a bit more.
Well,
because they knew you were going to run, so they honed in on it.
Right, but he threw the ball 22 times. This is more than you normally see him throw.
But they have to get those. They have to get those completions.
Right,
that's the thing. They didn't get that.
I mean, you saw this last year too, where against Incarnate Word in the semifinals to go down to Frisco, Cam struggled, and I don't know if it's scheming-wise. I don't know what's going on there, but Cam struggles in semifinals. Because if we pull that up...
I'll let you pull it up.
Yep.
31-29 final score if we didn't say it, but it's a rough way to go out to lose, especially with the fluky 2-point catch like you mentioned, but I'm still going to come back to the same thing, which is I don't like the formation we came out in. I don't understand coming on trick play. I don't get it. I've seen those trick plays. They don't work. When you move your whole line out, it's very obvious to the defense what you're doing is you're going to try and get the ball out there, and if you try and pass or run it from there, fine, but they're not going to, they're not surprised. Right. I don't get it. And it's like, this is the biggest play of the game, and this is where you want to get a little bit weird and start running these things? I don't know.
It's
like, well, if we're sitting here and they ran the ball up the gun, they get stuffed, we're probably criticizing them for that, but I feel like you have to run with what your strength is, and trick plays are not your strength if you're NDSU.
I mean, if your strength, it's your run game. Run game is by far NDSU's
No,
staple.
if they had play action out of it, that's a different story. Play action could have worked, maybe, but this was obvious. They come out in this weird formation. They've got, 4 linemen up to the right of the center, all way out by the sideline. It's like no one's fooled. I knew what they were going to do. I knew they were going to go pass it out there. And then it was just a matter of if they had a running lane open or if they wanted to throw it to the back of the end zone.
I mean, with that pass, I felt like he forced that throw, too.
It did feel forced. Yeah, it did feel forced.
Not even that he wanted to keep it. He forced that throw. You just have to take it up the middle if that's taken away. And that's what's drilled into that play. If that's not there, you take it. Does not matter if you can't get in there, you take it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, and then I pulled up the last year's semifinals. Cam Miller did struggle again, 1 for 12 and 5 yards.
In the dome, no less, too.
Yep.
So, NDSU has the feel of Wisconsin. If for any Wisconsin Badger fans, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Great running game, great running team, but the quarterback play is just subpar when you need it to be there. Yes, it is. All right. If I need to put the game in someone's hands, I don't put it in Cam Miller's hands. The offense isn't good because Cam Miller throws the ball 30, 40 times. The offense is good because the run game sets up the pass. And we saw in Montana, they couldn't really get the run game going. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but that game's only that high of a score because we got to overtime.
Right, and we scored
we scored. Yeah, we couldn't get to the end zone until the fourth.
The same amount of points as we did in overtime as in regular time.
They missed the PAT. If they don't miss that PAT in the fourth.
No, we didn't.
No, Montana. Look it up right now. They missed that PAT.
In the fourth?
Yeah, Montana did.
Keep talking.
I'm telling you right now, they missed that PAT because they had a punt return.
Oh, yeah, that punt return was actually atrocious.
See, if you don't have the missed PAT if you're Montana, I don't think they win because then you're forcing a 2-point. And that's the thing. I don't want that. That's the overtime one. You got to go up a bit.
Punt return touchdown?
Higher, right there.
No. Missed field goal? Or
that one.
PAT
field. And he missed a field goal. Exactly my point. So you're only here because the Montana kicker gave up 4 points. And I'm sorry, that's not good enough. If I'm the Bison's offense coordinator, that's not good enough. Your quarterback doesn't need to carry the team, but you can't have 9 points in the semifinals before that last drive. You can't. You just can't.
That's really hard to come back from, and your defense really kept you in this game. And
a defense kept you in it. A little bit of luck from the kicker, whiffing 1 or 2.
I mean, if that missed PAT, why don't you go for 2 and win the game?
What do you mean? If you're Montana?
No, if you're NDSU.
If you're NDSU?
You see Montana miss that PAT.
No, you take overtime. Why would you?
Take overtime?
I would take overtime. Why would I force? I have confidence in my kicker. My kicker's not the one that missed.
Right.
If I'm Montana, I'm confused why they kicked the PAT. They could have gone for 2, and then it's a 9-point game.
Right.
And now it's way out of reach.
It's
But we're not the coaches for either team.
I mean,
obviously.
I could probably dial up Coach Fuller right now and ask him about this game, but
I don't think you should.
All right now.
No, I don't think you should. You shouldn't. Don't call up the coach. They don't want to talk. Especially after the new head coach is out of the building. That got some reaction on Twitter. Or on the X. Tim Pulask being the new head coach.
I mean, you're going to see that. When anyone joins in that program, you are going to see a very popular video coming out. And because this is a dynasty that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
And this is our fourth head coach. We kind of saw it coming. So the first one that came in was the defensive coordinator, and then it was offense, and then Coach Hentz was defense, and back to offense. So
This is
why
an
not
offensive-minded
Coach Roll?
coach. Yeah.
Why
Steven-
not Coach Roll? That's my question.
He's from Stevens Point. Yeah, Pointer. Yeah. But no, he's been all over the map. I mean, we saw him Stevens Point. He had a variety of roles there. Then he came to NDSU as a graduate assistant in '06. Running backs coach. Did some tight end fullback work. Went to Northern Illinois. Came back here for a couple seasons for the running backs and offensive coordinator. And then he moves up to Iowa. And then Wyoming as a positional coach and coordinator. Now he's back. So I wouldn't say a step down from him. Anytime you go head coach, it's not a step down.
Right.
Even unless you're going to like D1 to D3, then you could argue maybe it's a step down. But
I mean, if you're a position coach at D1, I think you can be a head
he's
coach.
he's
at
been
D3.
around the building. He's been here before the run got started. He's been here while the run was going.
He was here during the six-peat, and then he was here right
before
when it started too.
Yeah.
So
he's seen the culture. I mean,
no,
And then,
he's
of
seen the
course-
culture and how to bring it back. So I think this is a good choice. But the question that keeps going on in my mind is why not Coach Roll?
do you think it's because of the 2-point play? It's not. That's a good question. I don't understand that. I know we had a big debate on this last time. Is do you want to? Because at first we were playing the question of who gets hired, and then we're playing. More important question was, do you bring someone from outside, or do you keep it inside the building? And I think with this move, they're trying to jumpstart the offense a bit. You're trying to get something fresh.
They want
because you're bringing in a guy who ran Wyoming's offense, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Wyoming's a little bit more of a passing team.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, he was also here for a little bit during the dynasty while it just got kicked off. So maybe you want that mindset of when you went and had that six-peat coming right back into the culture. I don't know. Coach Roll was a part of the program since 2014, and he also knew that culture and how to build it back. So, I mean, you do have two creative and really good mindseted coaches in the building.
I
With
wonder-
Coach Roll and this coach.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the reason. Is you want to have two guys who complement each other. You want to have like a yin and a yang almost for offense. You have Roll who likes to run more, and then you have Plasek who likes more of a 50-50 approach. We saw this with Wyoming. They're about even for passing and rushing, but maybe we see. It would be interesting to see because I don't know if Cole Payton's the quarterback going forward with this as a signing because we've seen him run a lot more, and if Plasek wants this to become more of a hybrid offense instead of a running team. Do you think Payton would be the best answer? Do you think
Well,
because we haven't seen Cole Payton pass much?
right.
If at all.
Although Cam is going to come back for next season.
Is he going?
Yeah, that's what he announced last year before the season. So I believe that he
Well, then
will.
that's-
This
yeah.
will be his last year.
Yeah.
So Cam Miller will have this year, and so I mean they have a good established two-headed monster back there with Cam and Cole. And I think, yes, you should blend in more passes with Cole, even though you have seen him struggle passing. I think that just gets better with time.
Yep.
And yes, it did cost us a game against SDSU last year where he threw that pick, but for
You
you
gotta
to
have
be
him
a good
chances.
quarterback, you have to get your chances.
And I wonder if we're going to see that because I'm looking closer at this Wyoming offense, and we saw that Peasley, the quarterback, he's a second leading rusher. I mean, this feels a lot like an NDSU team where you've got this guy who's can throw the ball, can run it, do a little bit of everything. I don't think they have a Cole Payton over there in Wyoming, but it seems like he likes his quarterbacks to be able to scramble a bit. It's going to be interesting. I think the breath of fresh air is going to help. Because I feel like this team has felt a little bit stagnant under Ents. It's felt a little bit like constantly running it, 15 passes a game. Anytime Cole Payton's in, it's going to be a run. Anytime that, we need a third down and short, we're going to run. It just felt like predictable at times. And I wonder if that caught up to them a little bit this year because some teams figured it out. They said, if we can stop the run, we can kind of stop them. So,
I mean, as NDSU, you go 60-10 with Coach Entz as your head coach, and this year was a down year for NDSU.
Yeah, 3 losses.
Granted,
That's not good.
yeah, no, 3 losses not good, especially for this NDSU team who is used to only 0 to 1 loss.
Yeah, 0 to 1 a year.
That's
yeah.
about all that you get, right? And for you guys to go, what, 11-4 now? Yeah, 11-4. It's a down year, and I know I will give Coach Entz a little slack with COVID year with being 2020.
No.
In the spring, but
Why?
at the same time,
Why are you giving him slack? It was 3 years ago. It was 3 years ago. Everybody had to go through it. Every college team had to go through it.
right? But then
So-
you come back and go win a championship,
Yeah.
right? And then after that, you lose in the championship to SDSU, and then you just lost in the semis.
I mean, this year felt like they shouldn't even been in the playoffs at times. Like the team we were watching, it didn't feel like a championship-winning team. So I think the run was really surprising for me, at least. It was really surprising because it didn't feel like NDSU was rolling through everyone, and it was a matter of just who can stop them. It felt like we were going to have to get hot rather than just already being hot. And teams of the past, it was kind of, you saw that start to finish. Whereas this year, it felt like a little bit at the start and then a bunch of bumps in the road, falling apart, losing teams we shouldn't have at all. And then we got hot right when it mattered, which good, that's great. But you want to see that more consistently throughout the season, especially if you're an NDSU team.
Right. And for us being as dominant as we are, everyone else that's on our schedule should be scared of playing us. And this year, it just didn't feel that way.
No.
It was definitely not the season that most Bison fans are used to watching. And it's a tough way to go because 4 losses is just not acceptable, especially as a fan.
But did it feel like a deserving championship team this year? I mean, it would be nice to be in Frisco, but does it feel like we deserve to be there, I guess?
I mean, I'd say, like what I've said the past couple overtimes, we are top 4 teams in the FCS, even in our down years. But it still does not give us the excuse to be bad. I'd say 11-4 for the Bison team is bad.
Yeah, it felt like that. It felt like sort of like we didn't deserve to even have a chance. There was a bit where we thought like we might even make the playoffs. Right. So when you have that, I don't know. Obviously, you beat the team, so you deserve to be there because you win. That's how it works. But it just didn't feel like other years where it was like, it's
dominance.
in the bag. It's in the bag. It just didn't feel like that.
It did not feel like dominance.
And I wonder if that's a stagnation of just having one coach in place for a little bit too long. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just you're struggling to keep some of these guys who would normally come in because now they're going to NIL deals. It could be anything. It could be recruiting. It could be scouting. It could be just retaining players, the offensive scheme, coaching. Like, we don't know what the issue is.
I mean,
in particular, but it felt like something was missing.
Yeah, something was definitely missing this year. But now that you mentioned like transfer portals and NIL, Gennaro already said he's transferring somewhere else with his 1 year left. And with Coach Entz leaving, how many other coaches are going to leave with him?
Yeah, that's the fun part. You're going to have you might have an exodus of some coaching here. I don't think he's going to be able to pull many because he's not making his own coaching staff.
Right.
He's pulling another one, but you see some of these guys maybe like leave or run off.
Right.
And how many players do you see saying, well, Entz is the guy who brought me in. I don't want to take my chances with a new guy. Let me see what my options are.
Right. And then they join the transfer portal and not be a part of this program anymore. But, I mean, that leads us into signing day. Today we signed a lot of players, and
he's got to pull it up.
I do have to
that many
pull it
players. I was going to say, signing day's interesting.
We got running back McCann Miller.
Is that McCann or McLean?
McLean.
There
McLean.
It is.
Yeah,
don't
McLean.
Butcher the first name.
Okay. You want to read this off so I don't?
I got it.
F up everyone's
We got
name.
defensive end Wyatt Osterbauer, an O-lineman and Nate Tastad, a long snapper, almost read linebacker. Long snapper Grant Nodal, linebacker this time, and Donovan Woolen. Wide receiver Isaiah St. Romain. Cornerback William Washington. That's an easy name to say. That one I can hit. Safety Will Style. Linebacker Ray James. Wide receiver Logan Conklin. Good name.
Look at that.
Good
Logan,
name. See?
yeah.
Yeah. Linebacker Peter Hago. Right out of Fargo, the Fargo product. There you go. Like to see Fargo represent.
Yeah.
Wide receiver
Fargo
Jackson
guy.
Williams. O-lineman Coy Oakson.
Oakson was a big target, I know, earlier on
Was
in
he a
the
big
season.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were pretty happy to get him.
I believe that. And then fullback Ryland Satter. I mean, this keeps going. Cornerback Will Rosenmeyer. Defensive end Zach Vanderpool. Tight end Reese Kessel out of Fargo himself. It's another Fargo product. Another tight end and Jets Sable.
Yeah, we were really looking for Jet because he's our first 4-star, I think.
Really?
Yeah. So that's a big time pull.
That
too.
is a big one. And then offensive lineman Noah Stoms. Safety Talon Edie. And that's it.
That's
So
it.
a lot of signings, a lot of big signings. And of course, you're going to see some guys. We saw this last year. They had walk-on tryouts.
Mhm.
So maybe they'll have that again. I don't know.
Hey, it's your chance.
I'm going to be gone, dude. I'm going to be graduated. I don't know how that works. I don't think I would have any eligibility left.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I had a place to practice, I might have made it. But, you can only do so much in a Fargo winter with a leg,
Yeah, that's true. That's,
It's not like other positions where you can practice regardless.
No.
I kind of need a field to practice. So
I'm-
shout out NDSU. Appreciate it.
yeah, and I mean, moving on, we have a good recruitment class like you just listed. I mean,
Yeah.
a couple of big names coming in, and then just with the coaching, I don't know how that coaching carousel will look like, and
Do you expect it to be a carousel? Because obviously we can't predict who leaves. But do you expect like names to leave, or is it like this is kind of going to be the same team, same coaching staff, I should say?
I mean, not a lot of people left last year, so I mean, I'm not gonna say any things that shouldn't be said on the show because I was a part of NDSU football, but I know a couple players or a couple coaches have been there for a long time and are trying to look out into getting another job at the FBS level, and so I do think there's going to be some names that will leave, but I could be wrong.
I suppose it's like kind of like a best time to do it. Your head coach is leaving. Maybe this is the jump they need to say, hey, Ent's left. Maybe I should go because I've been here for 5, 10, 15 years, whatever it is. Maybe it's time to try out a different opportunity because the guy that I was introduced to, instead of trying to learn a new guy and all his ways. But it's pure speculation. We don't know. So we'll find out. What's not pure speculation is that South Dakota State will be playing Montana Championship, and my goodness, it wasn't even close.
No, it was a blowout. Somehow, SDSU was facing Villanova, and that was decently close with 23-12.
Yeah.
And then, people thought they were this was going to be a close game.
Slightly close.
They blew them out of the water. This is watching NDSU face Western Illinois, and
Yeah,
I
bad.
can't.
59-0.
59-0 right there.
Bad.
I
I remember walking by because I was at work, where I like to work for the Force, and I walk by TV and I look and the score's up and it's like 42-0 or 49-0, whatever, and there's still like 11 minutes. I was like, there's no shot. I was like 49-0. This is the semifinal.
Right.
Like what?
So Montana versus SDSU for the championship.
Let's give a moment of silence for Albany's chances. All right, moment of silence over. Nice knowing you, Albany, but maybe next year.
But we will see SDSU in the championship again, and I wanted to see a rematch from NDSU and SDSU, but Montana got in there, so it's Montana versus SDSU. Who do you got?
Who do I got, or who do I want?
Both.
Trick question. It's the same one. I think SDSU. I don't think Montana deserves it. Plus, I don't want the team that just beat us to win it. As much as you're gonna look at me weird because I'm saying SDSU, but
you want SDSU to win.
I'm gonna
the team down south. You want that team to win
sure.
a back-to-back.
So that way, when we beat them next year, that's even better.
Yeah, it will be.
Would you want Montana to beat us and then rub in our face that they won it all? Or would you want SDSU to get it and then we could play the well if you played us game?
Well,
so it's kind of a lose-lose. I don't know if I'll even tune in
I
with
feel
the
like
teams that there are, so we'll see.
I feel like Montana, I want to win, but I feel like the team that down south will take it again.
Down south.
But it will make the trip.
You can't say the name. You gotta say the team down south.
Yep, I'm going to say the team down south. But hear me out, okay?
Hearing you.
The home game next year, week what?
Just October 19th. All right. Vinny doesn't know what week it is. He's
Week
counting.
8.
There it is.
Week 8. We play SDSU in the Fargo Dome, so everyone packed that. And you know what's sweeter than a 6-game losing streak to them? A little taste of revenge to a 2-time.
You know what it's kind of a bummer. I don't know if I'll be here for that.
I don't know if I will be here for
I was
that.
gonna say we might both be out of state.
But
We'll
it's
see.
something for NDSU students that are watching.
That's right.
To tune into.
There you
And
go. Ethan, go represent us.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, go represent. Speaking of which, we do have a new producer in the office. Ethan. Yeah.
Yeah. Woo. It's killing it so far. Winter break. I don't think people expect us to be here during winter break, but we are. We're here.
We're here. Hey,
Working hard.
speaking of games to look forward to for NDSU, first game of the year is
Yeah.
at Colorado.
Boulder, Colorado. Interesting. Getting to play primetime Deion Sanders. Week 1. Do they have Shadur or is he graduated?
I think Shadur is coming back.
Because I think Shiloh's graduated.
He's
safety.
He could.
Because he's a senior.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
That would
I
be
think,
fun.
Yeah,
That'll
that's
be a lot
a
of fun.
fun game to watch. And then you got two
I think
Tennessee.
that should
teams.
instantly win game of the week because you have the biggest hype in Colorado against one of the best programs.
At the FCS
It
level.
should be. I don't see how you don't win game day.
This would be an amazing game to watch. And, I mean, even if you're an alumni or if you're a student here or you look to NDSU as something that you want to go to.
Or you
this
just
game-
like the program you never went. It's very possible. It should be circled on the calendar.
You circle this and you watch it. That's all I'm saying. And then you play 2 Tennessee State teams. One Tennessee State and the other one is East Tennessee State. So, and then
Battle of the
one
Tennessees.
against Townsend. So, I see.
3 wins and a fun game against Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to guess the score.
I'm not even
for
gonna say
Colorado.
if they're gonna win or lose because I don't know. That would be just a fun game to watch. And then you start the conference play against Illinois State, and then get your revenge back at North Dakota when you host them here. You know,
Yeah, they got
another
to
fun
revenge.
game.
They got revenge several games from last year.
Exactly.
I mean, South Dakota they got the revenge game on, but no one else. Not North Dakota or SDSU. So we'll
Right.
see.
So there's a couple games
at home.
on the circle on your calendar to go to because they are both at home.
Because
like
both
he
both
said.
those games were on the road last year against
Mhm.
those 2 teams. So.
Yep. So now we get to host them, hopefully have a bigger crowd. And then we travel to Southern Illinois and then host SDSU and then have a decently easier stretch with Missouri State or Murray State, Northern UNI, Missouri State, and South Dakota.
Northern UNI? Or is it Northern Iowa? You're
Northern
confusing-
Iowa.
You're confusing the people at home, Vinny. Stick
Northern
on.
Iowa and UNI. They're the same school. I'm sorry.
That's like that one girl I had back in my middle school who thought that UConn and Connecticut were 2 different schools for March Madness. So she's like, why do some brackets say UConn and some say Connecticut? And we're like, all right.
They're the same school.
No, it's the same program. That's why. But,
But it's
good time.
a good preview for NDSU and their schedule next year. It's a very fun thing to look forward to. But before that, they will have spring ball. So, yeah.
New coach, new schedule, signings are out.
Pretty
Season's over a little bit earlier than you would like,
for
obviously,
sure.
but a lot later than I think people thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously you'd like to run the championship, but 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think we were predicting they would get that far, but I don't know if we expected them to.
But, I
There's
mean,
a difference,
you could have lost to Montana State.
Probably should have.
Whoa.
Dude,
I don't
if
know.
that foot's not out of bounds, that was game. We did talk about that.
Yep.
That
did
was
say
that
that.
was a lucky break, but
You know, a
You
lucky
get
break
some
is
breaks.
Sometimes all you need.
That's all it takes.
Uh,
Anything else you want to cover in NDSU sports? We went over a lot.
yeah, we
Lot of
did.
Bison.
But basketball, there was no games. Girls basketball, there was none.
It's kind of a quiet stretch
Yeah.
now. Now that football's over, winter break's in effect. Not a lot of sports games going on. Even for the big schools, it's kind of slowing down a bit. So get a little bit of hiatus, a little bit of a breather, kind of collect yourselves.
Gives us time to talk a lot more about the NDSU football. But, I mean, this last Tuesday, there we go. We got wrestling.
There you
That's
go.
what we had to cover. Wrestling.
You did have basketball. No, there is. See at the bottom. They played Southern
shoot,
Illinois.
Yeah, they did travel to Southern Illinois and lose, but we don't talk about that.
Lose, but so
Men's basketball on Sunday, December 17th.
you can check the score right there. I don't know why you don't tap that. They lost. So they lost. They
Oh,
lost to
that's right.
Illinois State and Southern Illinois.
Yep.
Yeah, not great.
Not
but I
a
think
great
we
stretch.
had our highlight of the season, which was beating no kills.
Oh my God! Did you see?
You saw the highlights,
Did
right?
you see those? Oh my God! I need you to put that on this
We were
video.
gonna put it over there.
Oh
this
my
whole,
God.
This whole talk.
Dude,
You remember
he like,
that coffee guy we were talking up last week? Like he had half the points. Yeah, and he had like the worst jump shot in the entire building.
This guy. If I'm not stepping my cord.
Don't step on the mic.
This guy was shooting like this, like he's pushing the ball.
It was bad.
know,
I was
it's so
seeing
bad.
guys trying to go behind the back and like lose the ball. The big man, they literally would like if they bounce pass it to him, he couldn't catch it. He couldn't like bend over. It was rough.
It was super atrocious.
Yeah, because
And
we saw the score and we're like, all right, maybe it was just like they were outmatched. No, these guys looked like they just got
Came
off
off
like the
the
Y.
street.
They got off the Y.
They
They just
just-
walked in. They said, you, and definitely you, and that was it.
Yeah.
So it was bad. I've never seen a one-way.
I've never seen a college team that bad. Like, holy crap.
That was rough. That was rough. Oak Hill's Christian College. It's called the community college last week. Oak Hill's Christian College. You're gonna need to be really Christian after that performance. You should repent to all of us for that. I'll wait because I can't believe I had to watch that. I had to watch highlights. Can you imagine watching the full game? Can you imagine going and buying a ticket to watch that? You're like, what is this?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'd have been
imagine-
like sitting there like asleep, like, no.
It's a good sleeper game.
We're still up by 50. Passed out.
And wrestling news.
Unreal.
They lost 2, but they finally got their first win of the season, beating Purdue.
Yeah, it is a young team, so you're going to expect a little bit of up and down, but hey,
A win's a win.
a win's a win.
Look,
Win
you
is a
finally
win.
win. Your first.
Something that the Patriots don't know much about.
Hey, we did win last week. Okay, don't give us that against the Steelers. No,
Yeah, you didn't win last week.
yeah, against the Chiefs.
Do
Okay.
you want to hop into NFL news?
Yeah, we can hop into NFL
You
news.
think we made the people wait long enough?
Yeah, I do
let's,
think
Let's
so.
start it out right. Thursday night. Chargers.
Easton Stick.
The Raiders.
First career start as a Charger.
Against a Raiders team that scored 0.
0 points
0.
against the Vikings.
So what did you think they were going to do? Do you think they were going to score 0 again or 63?
They came out on a tangent.
63. They had 49 at the half, I think, right?
Yep. It was
It
so
was-
bad.
I watched the highlight, or not the highlight, the interview with Brandon Staley,
Mm-hmm.
and it felt like this guy's going to get fired as soon as this game's over.
And
we
guess what?
need to get the
Gone.
interview. It's going to be the last time we get his interview. And yeah, later that night, fired.
Fired.
Wow, what a shock. Oh my goodness. Crazy.
No, I got fired. No
42,
way.
not 49 in the first half. I gave him too much credit.
42.
I mean, lighten it up. Zamir White. They didn't have Josh Jacobs. That's how bad it was. Zamir White, Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers, Michael Mayer, Brandon Bolden, Trey again, Devontae Adams. A fumble return. A pick 6.
How do you have Aiden O'Connell
Aiden O'Connell.
throw 4 touchdowns on you?
You don't. You just don't.
And Jacoby Myers throwing 1 touchdown on you.
Yeah, they threw one with a trick play. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And then that one-handed interception.
Which was
for
just
pick
rude
6.
because they were up 42-0 by that point. Now they're
Yeah.
running trick plays. I was like, this is hurtful.
You know, it's just.
And then I remember the Chargers Twitter page, or the X page. I'll find it because it went famous. They put, "We scored," period, with the clip of them scoring. They look so defeated. You don't have to pull it up. I'll find it later. It's great. But they were just like, we scored. Nothing else, no emotion. And everyone's like, yeah, this kind of makes sense.
Yay,
so,
we finally scored.
Yeah, the fan count dipped from 12 to 11. So now there's only 11 Chargers fans in existence. So, hey, you guys got almost as many fans as you had points. Almost.
That's true.
I mean, if they didn't play, like, prevent defense, I think at the very end of the game, like, what do you do when you're up 63-7? Do you start playing offensive guys on defense? Because at that point, you just feel bad.
Hey, you just start your scout team. Be like, hey, here, get some playtime. You know, when you're in high school and you're like, hey, we got some seniors that are really bad.
Get those freshmen in there. Not the seniors, you get the freshmen.
No, get those bad seniors in there, and then get those really good freshmen in there. And then you're fine.
Don't you just put all freshmen in there? Be like, hey, this is a great growing experience for you. It's like, thanks, coach.
Thanks, coach.
I could have told my mom that I couldn't practice today, but now she knows, or play today, and now she knows I could. You just didn't start me, but... I mean, Herbert, what do you say if you're Herbert and you're watching Easton Stick? Because Stick was fed to the Wolves. He didn't have a chance. And he didn't even play terrible.
No,
I mean, the stats are going to show great because of the last 2 drives. But it wasn't like he was throwing pick after pick.
No. He only threw 1 pick, and that was a freaking one-hander, give me that, for 6.
A wild pick. So, if you're Brandon Staley, you're a defensive coach, how did it get this bad? You're a defensive coach, a defensive-minded coach. You gave up 63 to a team not playing its starting quarterback that had the start of the season. Doesn't have its starting running back. Just put up 0 in the lowest scoring indoor game. This wasn't like 5 weeks ago. Last week. How? You gave up 42 in the half. I don't even know if they had 42 the last 3 games. You gave up that much in a half.
I mean,
you should have walked off the field. He should have pulled Avonte Davis and walked off the field. Retired at halftime. Retired. Don't let him fire you. Just quit. Just be like, I'm done. I'm done. How? How do you let this happen?
I'm trying to look at...
if you're going to work today, chances are your name's not Brandon Staley.
Where do you think he's working now? Flipping burgers?
7-Eleven, dude. He shouldn't work anywhere else. I mean...
Dude, looking back at Brandon Staley, in 2021, calls the timeout when you had a chance to the playoffs. But no, you want to be pesky and call a timeout.
I remember that. That was so bad.
Yeah, I know.
The Raiders were fine to play for like a tie.
All they needed was a tie. Both teams got in, and
he calls a timeout to try and like get the defense to stop him and get the ball back.
And then the Raiders just decided to kick a field goal, end it. So that's one mistake. 2022, you are leading the Jacksonville Jaguars in your first playoff game 27-0, and you choked that. And then this year...
Remember that game? You remember that game? Someone bet like $1 million for the Chargers to win for $15,000? $1 million for $15,000. He lost. He lost. It was a 99.999% bet or whatever. It's crazy odds for it to win. Lost the bet. The one guy out there put a dollar on the Jags and said, yeah, sure. Rich. So, and then, of course.
And then this game that we just talked about.
No go.
This is how Brandon Staley got fired.
How would you rank it from bad? I think the overtime one was the least bad out of those 3. But I think the playoff blowout has to be worse because it was playoffs. But this is embarrassing.
Yeah, so
this is career-ending.
Choking the playoffs is number 1. I'd say calling a timeout when playoffs was all you had to do was tie, and then this blowout game.
No, this blowout game goes before that because this is bad. This is really bad. This is a Raiders team with no offensive momentum, and you just jump-started their season and ended your playoff season hopes basically all at once. I mean...
And speaking of the odds having the Chargers coach week 1 of 2023, number 1 is Billy B.
Bill Belichick. Old gray hoodie himself. So they're saying because what?
Either him or Jim Harbaugh at plus 300 there. So.
Yeah, because Harbaugh's linked to every single team. Yeah, I know Jim. Yeah, the Michigan coach. Yeah, every single team he's linked to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's linked to more things than an actual link. But when I think Belichick wouldn't be bad. I think the thinking behind that is you bring in a defensive guy, you get an actually good defense because the Patriots' defense has been good, and then you get a coach who's hard on Herbert because it feels like he needs that. It feels like he needs a guy who goes after him, isn't afraid to correct him because we saw this with Tom. someone who can build an actual defense around Justin so he can actually win games. Because he can.
Well,
But it feels like at times where, like, it's just like, why even bother? Because the defense is going to screw it up.
Right.
You're up 27. You don't expect to lose.
Justin Herbert can't play defense, too. And
No.
that's been costing the Chargers over the last 3 years.
Yeah, and
out of
there's
everything.
been games where it's been on Justin, but it's also been games where it's been on his receivers. We've seen brutal receivers, but I think that's where Bill Belichick hurts you because he can't draft receivers either.
No. Well,
The only team worse than
Johnson
getting the only
and
team worse than
Keenan.
drafting receivers than the Chargers is the Patriots. It's pretty bad. I think you guys would take Quentin Johnson.
Yeah, we would have.
You would have. You'd be like,
so.
this is the best guy we've ever had.
Yeah, drops every ball. Anyways, I mean, then you get to play the Chiefs twice. I don't know if you want to lose to them twice because I know the Patriots just lost to the Chiefs, 27-17. I mean, it was a closer game than most people thought. Bailey Zappi did not do too bad.
I hate you guys, though. I got a Taylor Swift highlight out of it.
Oh
Every time
my
I see
God.
Taylor Swift, it's not a good day.
Oh,
Vinny.
look at that. The first thing that pops out, Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes.
It's football. It's not the Taylor Swift show. This isn't the Eras Tour. I don't care. This isn't the Eras Tour. This isn't the Moon Phase. This isn't the Swifty time. We're not Swifty with Swafty or something. I don't know. This isn't talk about Taylor. This is NFL news. You're not news. You don't play NFL football. Oh, and she's like, I don't care about the brands and the chants. And it's like, get off my television. I don't want to watch you. If I did, I would go watch you. How is it so? I don't invade your stuff. You ever see a football fan show up to a Taylor Swift performance and like just start playing football on the stage? No, no.
That would be pretty cool, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I would actually watch it, but no. We don't interrupt the Golden Globe Awards where you're sitting there giving some 5-minute speech for your charity and start, tackling guys, throwing footballs across the yard. No, we respect the event. Stop. And I know this is more in the NFL at this point, but stop. I don't want to see Taylor. I don't care. She's not the play caller. She's not the quarterback. She's not the defense. She's not even the kicker. Stop.
I think she gets shown more than all
If you
those
show her
guys.
once, maybe twice, fine. It's ridiculous. Every touchdown. The stories.
They don't even show the
stories.
quarterback.
Sorry, Swifties. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know this was about Taylor. Sorry, Swifties. Chiefs fall short.
They don't show the quarterback. They don't show the running back. They don't show the tight end. The person who scores, the coordinator.
Unless it's Kelsey or Mahomes.
Right. Then they will show them. But other than that, they will go right to Taylor.
Worst year to be a Chiefs receiver or backup tight end. Like if you're Noah Gray, the backup tight end, you score, you're like, great, I'm on television. No, you're not.
No.
Taylor
Right to
Swift
Taylor
is.
Swift.
Right to her.
Taylor Swift is just
I'm waiting for her to be
disappointed that
holding
it's
the
not.
play sheet. Like where's the laminated play sheet at, Taylor? Play the part a bit,
That would be pretty cool. But look, Bailey Zappi threw 23 out of 31, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not a bad game by him.
Average.
We have mediocre quarterback again. Finally, we don't have below average QB play. Yes.
Are you celebrating about that?
Yes.
We went from terrible to less terrible.
Yay! Yeah, that's how
Record
you
check?
Browns fan probably felt when you guys went
Whoa,
1 for 31.
Whoa, record check. Record check? What's your record this year? What is it? I didn't hear that. What is it? 3-11?
Yeah.
3-11. 3-11? What's
Yep.
the Browns record this year?
They are.
Hey, here's a hint. It's not 3-11.
Yeah, but at least
What's
we
the Browns
never
record?
went.
No. What is it? Say it. I want to hear you say it. Come on, say it. I want to hear you say
I
it.
don't want to say it because I'm living in the past right now. Let me
Nope.
go back to the.
Nope.
They are 9-5. Okay?
Yo,
They are 9-5.
9-5.
Wow! Congratulations. You still don't own the division, so you can.
We have the Ravens in the division.
Yeah, and
We beat the Ravens. What is your? Did you beat anybody this year?
With
It doesn't
the
feel
Bills,
like it.
the Jets, and the Steelers.
Oh my God! You beat the Jets.
I'll name all 3 that we won. Okay, this is not as bad as when the Browns went 1-15 or 0-16. All right, so I don't want to hear it from a team that ever did that bad. 1-31 in the last 32 games.
I'm gonna cycle back. How many years has it been since Tom Brady left?
3.
3. Oh, 3.
Yeah.
Only 3? Not 30?
It feels like forever.
Really? What do you have? 1 win every year this season for how many years Brady's left?
Yep. Exactly.
1 win for every year, guys. 3 years. 3 wins. How terrible of a franchise you have to be to absolutely go from winning the Super Bowl almost every season to toilet bowl franchise in 3 years. 3 years. With the same team, with the same head coaching staff. This isn't like they hired everyone new. Why are you trying to look up Brown stuff?
I'm trying to look up Browns playoff
We went in
appearances.
2020.
You guys went in 2020?
Yes, we beat the Steelers. We should have beat the Chiefs, but that was a helmet-to-helmet hit. You remember where the Chiefs were getting every single call, but now suddenly they're not. Now they're upset about it?
Yep.
Yeah. Great.
Oh.
Great Chiefs.
What? We did make the playoffs more recently than you guys did, so I don't want to hear it.
You made it 2020 as well.
2021 against the Bills. We don't talk about the game, but I'm just saying we made it more recently than the
2021,
Browns.
we got wrecked because Baker had a shoulder injury, tried to play through, and he couldn't throw the ball. 2022, Deshaun was suspended for 2/3 of the season. We had to play Jacoby Brissett. We weren't expecting much. We almost made the playoffs.
Almost. That's the thing. Almost.
With Jacoby Brissett. You guys had him, and you won 2 games with him? If you played the whole year for
we
you,
went undefeated with them. Okay? 2-0 with Jacoby Brissett.
against terrible teams.
I do not care about terrible teams. He went 2-0 with us. And then Jimmy Garoppolo went 1-1. Yeah.
Jimmy Gestapo. Jimmy Gestapo. Jimmy Gestapo. You want to say his name again? It wasn't that long since he was a quarterback. God, the disrespect. Unreal.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
There it is.
I said it.
That was hurtful, dude. I hurt for Jimmy G. And I'm not Jimmy G.
See? Wild card in 2021. Just to prove my
Oh,
point.
you lost. We won.
Yeah?
We won a playoff game in 2020.
Yeah, that was 2020.
Yeah, you lost. You haven't won a playoff game since 2018.
And that was a Super Bowl. You guys don't know nothing about that.
We didn't have Tom Brady.
I'm just saying.
What is this argument?
Okay, but then the Packers had 2 legendary quarterbacks. They could only
Yeah,
run
and they suck as a
3.
franchise. I'm not arguing for them at
So
all.
it doesn't matter about a good quarterback.
All I'm saying is, we made Joe Flacco look like Jesus walking on earth. That man is going to carry us into not only into the playoffs, but in the playoffs and a couple games in.
I hope so. I hope so for you Brown fans.
Yeah, I'll be here. We'll be here every week. I'll let you know as it goes, week by week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Because you guys actually won again. So good job. 2
Yeah,
in a row.
we're playing like 4th string linemen. We have like nobody left. Everybody's hurt. A quarter of our team is hurt. A quarter of the salary cap. Imagine that. You pay these guys 25 to 30% of the money going towards them, injured players. We are playing guys who were on their couch 2 months ago, starting on our own line.
How do you feel
It's a
about
miracle that Joe hasn't been killed.
That conference is close.
We're outscoring the Bengals. Look, where's you at? Where are you at? Oh, 186 points of offense, and you're gonna give me attitude? Are you kidding me? You're gonna give me this? Remember when?
Okay, all right.
I don't remember the Browns ever scoring 186.
Do you want to
points.
switch quarterbacks?
We'd probably win with them too.
No, you would not.
Yes, we would.
You would
wanna know
not
why?
win with
We have
Mac
actual.
Jones.
We have actual talent on our team. We build an actual team.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Anyway.
I'll just scream in your face for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, we apologize for any audio and to
No, we don't. I don't.
poor guy in the back.
I apologize for Vinny's terrible takes. Bad, brutal takes. Really atrocious. Unbelievable that you sit here and you try and bring up 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. But Brady leaving 3 years ago, and you guys have made it look like 25, 30 years. You look like the Patriots of the 80s. Do you not? You should wear the uniforms. You should go back to them.
Yeah, we should.
You remember those days?
Those were pretty
Steve
nice.
Grogan, Tom Hodson? Any of those names ring a bell?
Nope.
Oh, you want to know why?
Because they
They were
suck.
good. That's right. You almost didn't even start Brady. Don't
Hey,
even sit here and act
hey.
you discovered him. You
I
went to the
remember.
sixth round.
Drew Bledsoe though.
Yeah, you got him killed. His career almost ended.
Yeah, but then he went to the Bills, so I mean, he didn't really.
Yeah, and then
Anyway.
the Cowboys. He went everywhere. But
Anyway, I mean, going to another team in.
journeyman
You guys-
QBs, Vikings, Nick Mullins.
I was gonna go to another team in your division, but we can go to the.
Yeah,
NFC.
Vikings, Bengals.
Yeah,
That's
I was gonna go here, but not here.
Vikings, Bengals game.
Vikings Bengals game. Different results, or sorry, different quarterbacks, same ending.
What do you mean same ending?
Because last year, It was overtime. Vikings had a chance to win, missed their field goal. Bengals went down the field, scored a game-winning field goal, made the score 27-24. Guess what happened?
Wait, it was the same score as last year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That's
And
weird.
this year, it's 27-24. Sorry, Vikings
Did you
fans.
see the T. Higgins catch where he's like,
Yeah,
outstretched?
I'm gonna stretch.
He like goes back, grabs it, and then bam,
Bam.
stretches out. Crazy. I've never seen a more athletic catch in my life. Not this season.
They're pretty talented.
That's something. I mean, that's a highlight reel in itself. So, and then of course, Vikings fans in shambles.
Shambles.
I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping the Bengals wouldn't be competitive. I don't know how they are. Somehow Jake Browning's playing
Jake
better
Browning.
than Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Joe was playing way worse than Jake is. Which
It's a pretty.
you should go get Jake Browning if you're a Patriots fan. He's proven.
Pretty closely.
Yeah, you know, it must be nice to be in the NFC where every division has like one team with like 8 wins and the rest with a 3. Not ours, not our division. The Steelers are 7-7. They're the worst team.
Hey, if you guys just switched divisions to the AFC South, you guys would be number 1.
You mean conference or not? Yeah, divisions, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, it's South. Well, yeah, because the South sucks.
And if you also went to
Pull
the,
the NFC North.
AFC West,
Pull up the
you would
NFC.
also win too.
Pull up the NFC.
I'm just saying, you would be tied with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I know we're as good as we're better. We're just better. I
And
said
you'd be
last week, I'll say it
second
again.
in-
We're just better.
In
We
the
had
NFC West, you got the 49ers with 11-3, the Cowboys and Eagles fighting it out at
Dude, I wish I was
10-4,
in the NFC South.
the Lions
I
at
really do.
10-4. Everyone's better except for the NFC South. So I don't want to hear being in the NFC.
What are you smoking, dude? We have 9 wins in the AFC. You have 3. I don't want to hear a word.
No, but you said if you went over to the NFC,
Well,
you
we'd
would be
have
fine.
an NFC schedule. That's the whole point.
Mm,
Yeah, we wouldn't be
okay.
playing. We wouldn't be
Uh-huh.
playing the Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals. You want to know the only reason Tom Brady had the success he had? It's because the rest of your division was crap.
Yeah.
For 20 years. Terrible. Name one good team during that stretch that Brady had to play in the division. Not in the AFC as a whole, in the division, in the East.
No one.
Oh, mind blown. Wow. Let's look at the quarterback talent from that.
Yeah, but you also have to go through the whole playoffs and the Super Bowl, which you guys don't know nothing
Chad
about.
Pennington was like the best quarterback Brady had to play in division. Chad Pennington.
No, you got Ryan Fitzpatrick,
Oh, my.
like in all 3 teams.
You did not just say Ryan Fitzpatrick. He did beat him.
You had Drew Bledsoe when he went to the Bills. Well, what other quarterbacks did Tom Brady have?
The fact that you don't know. Brett Favre that 1 year.
that 1 year.
Yeah, but he was like washed. He was like 39. That was like his worst season. One of his worst seasons.
Josh Allen at the later of Tom Brady's career.
Nah, he was like still unproven. That was before he took off. This is before he was Josh Allen. This is when he was just Josh. He was just joshing around Allen.
But
Yeah, so I don't want to hear any of this about division talk. You don't know what it's like to play in a real division. The AFC North is a real division. What are you looking at me like that for? The worst team is 500. The worst team, pretty much every week this year, has had a winning record. The
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah.
So what's your argument?
none.
Show me another division on there that's as tough.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's as good as teams.
I mean, I can show you this. The AFC South. They're all 8-6.
With Gardner Minshew playing for the Colts and Will
Hey,
Levis.
you guys.
The Titans are
okay,
5-9.
look, you have Burrow out. You have your quarterback out.
They're
and
still
you
winning.
have Mitch Trubisky.
They're still winning.
You have Mitch Trubisky on the Steelers. That
They're still winning.
the only competent team in that division is the Ravens because they actually have a quarterback.
Competent? You're calling a 9-5 team incompetent? Are you serious?
No, I'm saying the only other competent because you have
I feel like
Jake
your mic,
Browning.
you're covering your mic really well. I was going to say, let it show. I'm going to let it show.
Anyway, you have Jake Browning with the Bengals. You have Mitch Trubisky with the Steelers, and you guys have you without
and
Deshaun.
they're winning. The only team that's not winning are the Pittsburgh Frauds.
So that's why I'm saying this is.
You did not just say the AFC South is better than the AFC North. You are off your rocker. You should get off the show right now. It's unreal. Unreal. It's a solo show. You did not. Even Trevor Lawrence himself admitted that the AFC South is a tough division. Even he was like, dang, I don't want to play you guys twice a year. To the Browns, yes.
To the Texans. Because he was talking about C.J. Stroud. You should pull up that.
The Texans shouldn't even been a good team this year.
No, they should not. But
there you go.
C.J. Stroud, Bala.
He didn't even play last week.
I know. And that's why they lost.
They won.
They won? Oh, would you look at that.
Vinny, this is a bad look for you. You know that, right? This is a really bad look.
Just cut a couple of my takes out. Or
Nope.
be fine.
Nope, they're staying in. Case Keenum. Some will beat the Titans. That's how bad the AFC South is. Case Keenum can get wins.
Yep.
Case Keenum can't win in the AFC North.
Hey, yeah, you can. If you're the Vikings fan, throwing it up to Stephon Diggs. That's how you're going to win with Casey Keenum right there.
Oh, look at that. The Browns might not have to play C.J. Stroud. That is actually something to clap about. Still in concussion protocol, and while the Texans will surely hope for the rookie signal caller approved for this week's game, appears he will be unavailable.
And Browns barely got a win this week against playing.
The team signed former Jets QB Tim Boyle. Look at that. Tim Boyle lives on. The legend lives on.
Speaking of Browns winning, you guys beat the Bears team, who dropped 2 touchdowns on you. And
What do you mean? What do you mean dropped?
I mean dropped. It was right in their hands, and they drop it.
Okay, and we gave
just like their hands are made of butter or something.
Great. We gave them all their points off of interceptions. We gave them a pick 6, and we set them up inside the 10.
Maybe don't throw picks. Maybe don't pull a Patriots.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea,
Just
Vinny.
saying.
Wow. Offense with Vinny, guys. Don't throw picks.
Yep. Hey, goal of football, score more points than the opponent, and don't throw picks.
Don't turn the ball over.
Key to winning games right there. Just saying, you'll never lose a game if you do that.
That is such a bad take. This Jets team, hold up. I'm going to prove you wrong right now. I'm going to go find a team that didn't have any turnovers and lost.
No, I said don't turn the ball over and outscore your opponent.
Oh,
you won't ever lose a game with that strategy.
You just got to outscore them at that point. You don't even need the first observation.
Exactly. The point I was trying to make.
No, I'm not going to lie to you. The Bears should have caught that Hail Mary. I don't know how they did it. They shouldn't have been set up for it. Granted. They blew the game.
They did. They blew the game for themselves.
It was a rough offensive day for the Browns. Once again, no running game, but when you have 4th-string linemen, that'll happen. We lost one of our starting guards early on. That kind of killed the whole run game and our center. So we're on our 3rd center. We have like our 4th. We have like our 3rd center, our 3rd left tackle, 2nd or 3rd right tackle, 2nd right guard. Our left guard's like the only starter.
You guys cannot get away from injuries. I'm just saying.
Thanks, and we're still winning. So what does that make us? A good team. Just better. Just better.
Built
we're
different.
Just better.
Built different.
But,
Speaking of built different, Bills.
Rip to the Cowboys.
Bills. Look,
31-10.
Cowboys have a circle. They have a circle. Okay, I want you to find this grid.
My buddy's not gonna like this.
No, not at all. But they have a circle. So 1, you are playing bad teams and beating them. 2, you think it's your year, and then you
lose to a good
crap
team.
the bed against a good team, and then you choke in the playoffs, and then it repeats all over again.
I thought it was you play some games, you get the hype going, you lose to a good team, you play some more bad teams, get the hype really going, then you lose in the playoffs. But it is a cycle. We have seen this before. The Cowboys, they come out, they beat the Eagles, they think, we've turned the corner. Every single channel I watch, the Cowboys are another franchise. They've turned the corner. This is the Cowboys team that's going to run it all. No, you just got stomped by the Bills. It was 31-3 at one point. In the rain. In the rain.
This is a cycle. Season starts, you beat up on bad teams, then your fans get delusional, thinking it's your year, and then you choke in the playoffs.
So is this the playoffs? The Bills game must have been the playoffs.
Nope.
I'm waiting for it, all right? I don't care what the Cowboys do. I am waiting until the playoffs. I've been saying this all year long. My buddy keeps reposting stats. He keeps sending me all these things saying, we're in the top of the... No, not Blake. We're at the top of the division. We're winning games. We're great. Dak's playing MVP ball.
They're not even going
to win
their own...
No, he ain't.
They're not even going to win their own division. That's a wild
if
thing.
the Eagles could have actually beat the Seahawks.
No, but
they won't. They have to play the Dolphins next
they
week.
played the Giants, and the Commanders. That's their Eagles schedule.
Well, Giants, Commanders, Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, but yeah.
I'm just
I mean,
just saying. Such
embarrassing.
easy schedule.
Embarrassing. Dak was embarrassing. Didn't even get 150 yards.
No
passing. Josh Allen threw the ball 15 times in NDSU style football.
Yeah.
James Cook destroyed. I think he's going to haunt every Cowboys fan's nightmares for the next 3 weeks. That man, we were calling James Cook like a bust.
Bust? Yeah.
There was NFL circles that was like, is James Cook even good? Like Latavius Murray's playing better than him. Not against the Cowboys. I guess we plays them every week.
Yeah. I don't know. James Cook was cooking.
Embarrassing.
James Cook was cooking. And
Embarrassing if you're a Cowboys fan. I don't know what to tell you. That was. Don't take the field, I guess. But it was bad. It was really bad.
it was terrible.
It was what I wanted. It was exactly what I wanted. Who am I kidding? I'm not gonna hide it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. It was great.
And then the Eagles dropped to the Seahawks to Drew Lock.
Didn't love that one. I was hoping the Eagles would win.
How do you drop a game to Drew Lock?
You just do Cowboys schedule the rest of the way at Miami, home against Detroit, at Washington. That could be 2 losses right there, very easily, especially after the Bills.
It's a very hard schedule for them.
And you think the Eagles should close out all wins, so.
Yeah.
And,
like I said, I think the Eagles.
And now
are
you're
still
seeing now you're seeing all the MVP shift to Brock Purdy, big time. Oh, Dak's odds got tanked after that.
Hard.
And that was kind of the
I know
thinking
Brock
was,
said he wanted Christian McCaffrey to win MVP, but I don't think that happened.
No, MVP's a quarterback award. We all know what it is. It's sad at this point. It's pathetic. But
It is pretty
it is
sad.
what it is.
I
But
mean, do you want to go this week's preview for the NFL schedule?
you don't want to cover the Jets getting shut out? Big news. Aaron Rodgers.
Jets Jetson.
Rodgers said he won't play. He said he's going to take the rest of the year off. I think I think he was going to try if the Jets were in chance, but I told you this. When the news first came out he's coming back, I'm like, they're not going to have a chance. They did. They got stomped, 30-0.
I mean,
all that
reality
Zach Wilson
finally
hype
came back
went
to
back down.
that reality check finally shaped him back. You're like, yeah, I can't play with
that reality check got cashed is what happened, because that was a reality for a Jets fan was, oh, we're not good.
We're not good again.
The only team shut out this week, so.
Yep.
Not good. And then, of course, you mentioned Drew Lock. The Steelers fell apart to the Colts. I watched George Pickens get mossed for a pick. It was bad. Oh, it was bad. And then his effort went, bam, straight down. This guy is, like, walking after, like, plays. You know, he's walking to his blocks. He's doing, like, one of these. They pick it. He's just kind of running in one direction. Doesn't really care. It's great. It's great. As a Browns fan, there's nothing a lot better than watching a Steelers wide receiver collapse into a diva that thinks they're better than they are, doesn't put any effort forward. It's great. I don't think the Steelers should ever let go Mike Tomlin because his teams have all been mid. They've all been average. I'll say it. They're average. The Steelers are average, mediocre teams every single year with Mike Tomlin because it's always, who doesn't have a losing record? The teams aren't good.
And Bill Belichick gets
remember that one run? That one run they had where they had like 11 or 12 wins and then they collapsed for like 5-6 straight losses?
Yep.
That was their most recent best season.
Yeah.
It's all been like 8-9 wins since then.
Facts.
Fine. You want to take 8-8, 9-8 every year? I don't care. Go for it. If that's your version of success, so be it. But Mike Tomlin's not a good coach anymore. He needs. I don't know if he needs to change teams.
Bill Belichick, Mike Tomlin might change teams. We don't know.
Do you think Bill changes teams? Or do you think he retires?
Retires.
I hope.
So? Because I don't want to see another successful.
You don't want to watch your former head coach go in.
No, it was one thing watching Tom Brady, but it's gonna be another with Bill, and
It's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You get to feel what you made the NFL feel for 20 years. Pain. Hurt.
Well, now I get to understand my dad's pain because he was a big Dolphins fan when they had their good stretch years and. They've just been.
He was a Dolphins fan?
He is a Dolphins fan, yeah.
Wow. So what? Everywhere from like what? Probably the 80s? Definitely the 2000s and 2010s. That was bad.
Yep. He watched the Dolphins go undefeated. He picked that team, and then Yeah,
Yeah,
he's just
it's
suffered
been
pain
kinda
ever since then.
Never good since then.
Nope.
A couple blips, but nothing good since then. And your team solely crushed his hopes. So
Every
many
single
years.
year, and that's why I picked the Patriots as my favorite team. So stop calling me a bandwagon. Anyway.
You just said you picked them because they won.
No, because they beat the Dolphins.
Oh.
Just, yeah. Okay.
So you don't like your dad or something?
I love my dad. I
You
love him.
just picked the team that
I just
beat up on his. That seems like you don't like him.
Hey, look, my dad's favorite team was the Dolphins because they beat the Vikings in the Super Bowl. And that's how that happened, okay? And then I said, you know what, Dad? Patriots are beating the Dolphins. Give me the Patriots.
That's so mean.
I love my dad.
That's like such a bad thing to say. It's like, yeah, I love my dad, but I'm
I
going to
love
pick the
my
team
dad.
that beats up on his every year. It's a crazy stand. Let's get this NFL schedule. Any big
Saints
games?
Rams next week, or this week, Thursday, tomorrow.
You going to watch it?
I am. Yeah.
I might. I should be home. I'm driving home tomorrow, so I should be home by then. Yeah, man. Should be home by then. Then the Saturday doubleheader, Bengals Steelers. It's a great game.
It's a good game.
It's great because
It's
either
good
way, I'm
game.
going to be happy. Either
Yeah.
the Bengals' playoff chances go down, and we get a little bit of space from them, or the Steelers are eliminated, and I get to make fun of their Twitter. So either way, it's a great day.
And then Bills Chargers. It should be a good game,
No,
but
no.
Chargers are switching head coaches. Yeah, we don't know.
Justin Herbert's not playing. Chargers interim. Bills are
And
12-point favorites.
Yep. Bills are gonna be.
When's the last time you saw a 12-point favorite on the road? It's been a little bit.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute.
It's pretty bad.
Browns Texans should
There
be
you go.
good.
85.5% win probability for the Bills. And Bills fans are gonna.
Rightfully so. I mean, to be honest, it's gonna be bad.
And then Colts Falcons, that's going to be a snooze fest. Washington versus Jets, snooze fest. Lions Vikings might actually be a good game. This is for the fight for first? No.
Vikings are trying to keep their playoff hopes
Yeah.
alive. Vikings just lost. They barely beat the Raiders, so this is a Vikings team that's kind of struggled the last 2 weeks. They're gonna need to get it together in a hurry. And then a Detroit team that's really struggling. This is a Detroit team that's just been skidding as of late. Uncharacteristic almost for a Dan Campbell team to fall apart like this late in the season.
Hey, if the Lions drop 3, the Vikings get the conference, and the Vikings play them twice. Lions play the Cowboys. I'm just saying.
It's possible.
Vikings win out. Lions lose out. Vikings get that.
Who the Vikings play in between?
Let me look.
Because that's the thing. It's going to matter about
The
that.
Packers. So they got Lions, Packers, Lions.
Ooh.
But Vikings host the Packers.
Oh, interesting.
And
Need it.
Yeah.
But if you think Nick Mullins wins out, I don't know. It'll be fun.
Nick Mullins. No, astronaut.
No,
Astronaut, baby.
he's not playing. They benched him.
I know.
He's a third stringer.
I know. He was doing too much space math that they're like, yeah, we need you to be over there. And Nick Mullins, you're up.
Yeah, Seahawks Titans, another game for the noon slate. Packers Panthers. Packers should win. I mean, my goodness, this is a Packers team that came out and beat the Lions and Chiefs, only to lose to the Giants and Bucks. So it's a tale of which Green Bay shows up to play.
The Panthers got their second win of the year, so, you know.
You guys have a chance. Chance at number 1. Look at that. And then the afternoon slate, Jaguars Bucks. Should be good. It's kind of weird because it feels like the Bucks shouldn't be a good team, but somehow they are in contention.
Hey, Cody Mock, good for him.
Anyway, I guess you can win. Cardinals, Bears, and then the biggest one of the afternoon slate, Cowboys, Dolphins.
Yep.
These are 2 teams that don't beat good teams.
But
they're kind of known
really
for that.
Beat
So,
bad teams, so
if
you're
the team that wins, are you now officially not on the list of teams that don't beat good teams, or is it just because it's an asterisk because you beat the other team?
It's an
That doesn't beat good teams.
It's an asterisk because you.
So it's a lose-lose,
Yep,
regardless.
exactly. you beat up on bad teams, but win against. And you lose against good teams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unless
So-
it's the Cardinals, in which case you lose. It's the Cowboys.
R.I.P. Anyway.
RIP. And then, of course,
Cardinals, Bears,
somehow
Newsfest.
you're on Sunday night.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch. It's going to
Yeah.
be bad.
It's a Broncos versus Patriots. Look, remember the last time Patriots were on the primetime schedule? We beat the Steelers.
What, 2018?
We beat the Steelers literally just last week.
That was Thursday. Thursday's not
2
prime
weeks
time.
ago.
They flexed you out of what, Monday night?
Thursday is.
Didn't they flex you out of that? Or Sunday night? They flexed you out of it. You want to talk about it?
No.
I don't want to say nothing. Bro doesn't want to talk about it.
And then we got Christmas games, but we'll.
Yeah, 3 Christmas games. Finally, I have something to do on Christmas Day.
Christmas. I feel bad for. Oh wow, we got a Ravens 49ers game that day.
I know.
What a game right
Raiders
there.
Chiefs could be an upset. I'm praying for an upset. I'm gonna be a big Raiders fan that day. Can't stand the Chiefs.
Giants, snooze fest, and then we got the best game on.
Best game of the week, easily.
Yeah.
Ravens Niners. It's not. This isn't America's game of the week. Where they just pick the Cowboys every week. They're like, wow, everyone wants to watch the Cowboys play. No, it actually is. You have the best team from the AFC and the best team from the NFC. But you want to know something cool about them? Browns beat them both. We beat them both. So, are they really the best team, or are we the best team? I'll let you decide.
Browns only dream.
I'm sorry, did you beat the Ravens or 49ers this year?
No.
No?
We didn't even play them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
you beat a bad Bills team that was supposedly out of playoffs at the time. Now they're heating up. You beat the Jets with Zach Wilson.
We own the Jets.
And Mitchell Trubisky for the Steelers.
Yep. And we're going to pull up an upset against Let's Ride Russell Wilson. So
I hope you do, but I doubt it. I really do. I thought that hurt your draft stock if you win.
Yeah, that's true. I don't even know if we want to win or lose. I want the first overall so we can get Caleb Williams.
Let's see. Anything else NFL you want to discuss?
I mean, do you want to do the betting segment again?
Let's see. We'll fly through and pick 5 games. I think we're just going to go Thursday night. Obviously, we got to cover. Saints-Rams.
Saints-Rams.
You got any picks in that? Or are you going to say skip? Because that's kind of a tricky one.
I'm going to skip that one. I don't like that.
That one's fishy. That one's a bit rough. Derek Carr's been a bit weird. It's hard to pick a Saints game or a Rams game.
Yep.
Especially when they play
Cincinnati Steelers.
Taking the Bengals.
Bengals?
Yep. I'm taking the money line for Bengals.
Money line Bengals.
I'm not taking the points, just money line.
Okay.
The Steelers have fallen apart, so.
I go Bills. Safe pick right there.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's true. You got to take the Bills. That's an easy one. And then the next one.
Do you want to bet on your Browns?
Yes.
Yeah?
I'm going to take
money
the Browns.
line?
If CJ Stroud can't play, take the Browns to win money line.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
if Stroud plays, I would bail on that bet.
I want to put the Vikings-Lions and put the Vikings money line, but it's very tempting.
I wouldn't do that. I would stay away from that game.
Packers-Panthers?
Packers to win. And then what's the over-under on the Commanders and Jets?
Over-under Commanders and Jets. Commanders and Jets. Over-under is 37.5.
Go under.
Take the under.
Go under. I'm watching Trevor Siemian or Zach Wilson or whoever's playing quarterback for the Jets. They can't score. The Commanders can't score much either. So this is two. You're watching the worst offense this week in the Jets go up against the worst defense in the Commanders. So something has to give, and I'm going to bet that the offense doesn't perform for the Jets because it just hasn't.
All right. Just to recap, the bets: Bengals money line, Bills money line, Browns money line, Packers money line, and the under 37.5 for the Commanders versus Jets.
Bonus bet: go Eagles to cover the points.
To cover the points.
Actually, I don't know if I want them to cover the points. They suck at scoring. Yeah, what the heck? Go Eagles cover the points. I think they're going to get a get-right game.
Okay. You have a plus 1,435 on that.
Meaning for every dollar you get $15.35.
Yep.
There you go.
There you go.
And we're sticking away from the tricky games, the weird ones. There's some plenty of good bets.
So we'll see if this one actually hits compared to our first segment. That was terrible.
I think the opposite of everything hit.
Yeah.
It wasn't a case of it hitting. It was everything else
didn't hit.
Didn't
if you did the opposite of that, maybe you would have won money. I don't know.
Yeah. And then now I guess we kind of do the quick rundown at the end of all the other sports. NBA news: John Morant returned. They made a comeback against the Pelicans thanks to his efforts. He went off. Insane.
That's how you come back from an injury right there.
That was something. And then Damian Lillard drops 40.
Joins the 20,000 club.
Big accomplishment. Big accomplishment, especially against, it was the Spurs, but, And then a little bit of interesting news in the NHL. Coach got fired from the Ottawa Senators. They fired Coach DJ Smith. They have named their interim. I don't have the interim's name on hand, but second or third coach firing on the year for the NHL already. So, and then a former second overall pick retiring at 25. Interesting. You remember any picks retiring at that?
No, not at all. Unless, no.
Nolan Patrick, 25 years old. I don't know. Like, dude, I don't know the reason for it at all. This is unheard of, to be honest.
This is shocking. Shocking news coming from the NHL. Well, that's what happens when you play hockey, too.
I think he's saying his injuries, yeah.
I'm getting too old at 25.
This feels like...
I'm getting too old at 25, bro.
Do you remember Chris Borland and Patrick Willis from the Niners a couple years back where they retired early? This feels like that. This feels like a move like they're trying to prioritize their health, so... Hockey's a physical sport.
Yep.
So...
It is. I mean,
it's just unheard of to see someone that highly drafted retired this young. So, But, hey, if you got your money and you can live off of it, do you, I guess. Go for yours.
Yankees going to the MLB, claim Jeter Downs off waivers. McCutchen stays with the Pirates for a 1-year deal.
He's got to be old.
He's getting to be old.
Yeah,
bro.
he's been around since I've been a kid.
Yeah, he was a stud.
And then Ohtani going to the Dodgers. Tyler Glass now followed him. He's a big pitcher. So I guess the intriguing part now is how many big names follow Ohtani to the Dodgers? Because this feels like it's going to be a wave of players that follow him.
Yeah, for sure. I think
this is like LeBron moving around in the NBA. We expect a couple guys to tag along because, especially now that he's going to play for a winning organization.
Right.
So
you're gonna load up the Dodgers and.
Ooh, 37.
Yeah,
McCutchen is old.
Jeez. But I think a lot more people are gonna join the Dodgers and try to World Series chase. And rings chase that.
I'd expect that. And then the last one is Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He brought back to the Diamondbacks on a $42 million deal. Got his money. Diamondbacks really had a good season this last year. Making it all the way. Fell apart, obviously, in the series. But
let's check and lean this far back. I did not know.
And Vinny's getting distracted by his leaning chairs, so I think
I got spooked, to say the least.
Anything you want to sign off with?
Nope. Anything you want?
I guess we'll be back.
We'll be back next week.
We should be back like Wednesday, Thursday, so it might be a bit later in the week we do our next episode.
And hopefully this episode has our intro on to it.
No promises. We're working on it.
We
should have some time to work on it over break.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah,
anyway.
Browns are going to win. We're going to be 10-5. I'll come back. Playoff spot could be clinched. There's like 8 or 9 scenarios we can clinch already. So
Patriots are going to get the first overall pick. Browns are going to win. And I hope all of you watching have a Merry Christmas. And
Happy New Year.
Are we going to see them before New Year?
Yeah, we'll see them before New Year.
All right, then.
If you don't watch this, Happy New Year, but Merry Christmas.
If you don't see, yeah. All right, Merry Christmas. And if we don't see you, Happy New Year. But we will see you before then. So
better watch.
Oh my God.
I gotta get this off.
Twister.